YouTube, how's it going? Rob, Jane Ranch Homestead. You know that. Today's a special day. Got some good emails going back and forth, and we're going to pick up something in Cortland, Ohio. Oh dear, running out. So, we're leaving the Homestead, driving over to Cortland. Some people know where I'm going, some people won't. And hopefully we get some content made up. See what's going on at his place. It is my first collaboration with another YouTuber. And he's a much bigger channel than me. He's in the close to the 40,000 range. So this is kind of special and very nice for me. And he put something out to me and I can't refuse it. And it's just a good deal for everyone. So
all right, Rob, so I'm gonna get this cut up with the DeWalt battery-powered chainsaw. I really like this thing.
all right, folks, as you can tell, I'm here with Joe today from Ohio Wood Burner. He's doing Joe things. But he's giving me that burl. You'll find it on his channel too. And I will link down in the description what's going on. And we have something really cool going to happen with that. And I will talk about it later in this video. But let's take a walk around with Joe.
Yeah, let's. I'll give you a quick tour here, Rob. It's changed a little bit since you were here for the open house. Number one, the sun is shining.
Sun is shining today.
It's funny. I wanted to get a break from all of the mud where I used to work, so I got this area where there is no mud.
Yeah.
And now we're in a drought.
Now we're in a drought. Yep, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Me and Joe don't live far away. We're about 10 miles as the crow flies, but 30-minute drive.
Yeah. Well, now that I know you're this close, you can come over and help me do all this stacking, huh?
The stacking, yeah. Yeah, like I don't have stacking of my own to do. Okay.
Right. Well, this is the 405, and this is made in Finland, and it's got a really cool splitting system to it. It's called Perfect Split. So it doesn't split logs a traditional way. It runs it through a box wedge where it takes the pieces off the bottom and this arm pulls it back and it just keeps running.
Just keeps running.
It's computer controlled. It's got an electronic eye and it calculates the diameter of the log, how many times it runs it through the knife, and then it calculates your cordage. If you are a split and sell kind of company, you can get a more accurate measurement just off of your computer screen. Controlled the saw, the splitter, the infeed. It has this is the 471 lumber deck, and this is what really makes your production go up. Otherwise, you need a lift that picks each individual log up one at a time. This, you can get them all staged. And
originally with your, 365,
yes,
you had the single log lift.
Yeah, which works great.
Yeah. The
benefit of that machine is if you are getting into the industry, you don't have a lot of machines, no, a big tractor that can pick it up,
yeah,
or any type of loader. That machine picks the log up off the ground, and it saves you extra money. If you have limited money to play with, you can put it into the processor, yeah, instead of into a second machine, second deck. All right. So we are right off the highway, and I am not open to the public. I think that day might come, but for right now, this is just a production area for me. The majority of my sales are restaurants anyways, so I just don't, I'm not the service for people looking for campfire wood or fire pit wood or boiler wood, in the wintertime.
Yeah, which I run boiler wood.
Let's start walking this way.
Yeah.
As do I, but I don't, my customers aren't, I don't sell to customers like me.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't sell to me either.
People that heat with wood are cheap, just like I am. They're looking to save money. Why
Absolutely.
else would they be heating with wood?
Yep.
So I try not to sell firewood to people who heat with wood. I try to sell firewood to people who want it just for weekends, for ambiance, for special occasions. And my style of firewood is just for that. If you notice, we split our wood smaller. And this is really just for the restaurants. Restaurants don't want big chunks.
Now, do you sell to people with barbecues and stuff like that?
Yep. A lot of food trucks, backyard warriors, and but restaurants, and that's what I have found. You know, everyone says you can't make money selling firewood, but if you apply modern retail principles to firewood and you try to zero in on a market that's willing to pay extra for quality or service, guess what? You're getting a lot of money for your firewood.
And you don't deliver, or you do deliver to the restaurants, they don't come to you.
Right. I do not have any local pickup. Why do I want people coming here to buy firewood, you know? And the reason is, when people call me for firewood, I tell them what the price is, and they'll say, wow, that's pretty expensive. How much is it if I come pick it up? Well, you know, there's my point. Delivery is where the money is. Local pickup, you know, there's just way too many other places to buy your wood around here that's cheaper than what I sell. There's no reason to come here and pick up my wood. It's just too expensive, and I'm not going to sell it cheap. Why am I putting all this effort into all this firewood to sell my wood cheap?
Yeah, exactly.
Rob, one of my opportunities, and I've yet to figure this out, is when you have a processor, it generates a lot of waste. So this is all of the waste that I've made with the firewood that you have just seen. So what am I doing with it right now? I'm just dumping it into the corner and getting it out of my way. I think that there is opportunities for selling the sawdust, for the scrap.
Absolutely.
Where, you know, but I'm just not, I'm chasing my tail right now, getting this new yard set up. This is the least of my worries right now. So I just dump it in the corner, and one day I'll have to make up my mind. But for now, there it sits.
Now, Joe has talked about this and that, and how this has been set up. And I actually left a comment one time. Farmers will take those chips. Farmers will take that sawdust. Maybe one day when everything gets straight, he'll be able to do something with that.
Well, come on down with a trailer and a shovel, and it's all yours.
All yours. Yeah. I don't have a trailer. I do have a shovel.
So I don't know what I'm doing with this area just yet, but I had a load of beech that I made with the processor, and I sort by species.
Yeah.
That's another way to increase your price per cord. So this is all beech. I have people ask specifically for beech for smoking. It kind of has a spicy note to it, if you're familiar with beech nut chewing gum.
Yep.
So, and beech is a nut tree.
Yes, it is.
Boy, is it tough though. It is hard splitting. It's not stringy, it's just tough. But I have this all stacked off to itself, and I'm just gonna let this dry until I figure out where I want to sell it.
I really like this stuff in my boiler.
Beech?
I do. Yeah. I split it by hand, and this stuff has a great BTU value. So smokers use it, and people who want to heat their home can use it too.
Yeah. It's a heavy wood. It's not as heavy or as high in BTU as oak.
No.
But it is up there. It's much higher than maple and ash and cherry.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just tough splitting. It's heavy, but I like the bark. It's smooth. It's easy on your gloves. It's not tearing everything up.
It is.
Yeah. It's a very interesting wood, and you just don't see as much of it here in Ohio as it was in the old days. They've all gotten farmed out.
Farmed out.
But they come in every now and then. When they show up in a log delivery that comes in, I kind of get excited because they stick out. The bark is a lighter gray, and it's a brittle, thick. It's almost like elephant skin, and it's very distinctive when it comes in on a load of logs. It's much grayer than maple, and
it really sticks out.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and those are some of the small
innuendos.
One of the small exciting parts of your day as a firewood service, when you see a couple beech logs coming in on a truck you just bought.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So Rob, this is the Easton made Axis. This is a commercial grade vertical splitter. One of the biggest problems I had when I started making firewood with a processor is not every log fits through it. And I got into a processor because I couldn't physically chainsaw and split all my wood. I needed something to make it easier on me, the processor. Well, you get logs that don't fit through it. What are you gonna do? My problem was those logs were so big, it was hard for me to pick them up onto my splitter. I needed a commercial grade splitter that could pick them up for me and make a nice, small, value-added split of firewood, and that's why this machine is just perfectly suited. And everything you see down here are the big logs that I have to chainsaw myself.
Yeah.
The ones back here are the ones that had ants in them. I just wanted them out of my life.
We don't do ants.
I don't like ants. So I just throw them back here and I just pretend that they're not there anymore. And then this basket is, this is an IBC tote I keep next to my main pile. And when I get an end on it that's kind of, you know, the butt end is flared out, I'll cut it off and throw it in here to be split. Or pieces that are just odd shaped. And all the offcuts, I'll just throw them in here.
So Joe, do you think this machine would be good for making bundle firewood?
It is, but this is expensive.
Yes.
It is big.
Yes.
It is loud.
Very loud.
If you got neighbors, they're not going to like you.
No.
And but the benefits are, it's built like a tank. It's going to last forever. It will split anything that gets put up onto this table. So if your volume is supporting the purchase of this, heck yeah, this would be the way to go. But if you are building up to that, there's a number of different splitters out there that are probably more appropriate for you, especially depending on where you live. There are some that are even electric. So you can, I've always said, if you wanted to start a bundle business, you can start one. If you lived in a townhome community, you know, if you had your own garage, you can buy firewood and bring it back to your house, resplit it, bundle it, and your neighbors would never even know.
Never, you know. And that's also where, if you watch his channel, you'll see the super splitter, and they make an electric version of that. And that's one that I really want to get for my personal homestead. But I've always liked this machine too, because you watch on his channel how he controls, how he cuts the wood. He kind of eyeballs it to those I-beams, and he just goes and makes that nice small split.
And that super splitter at one time made every single stick of wood I've ever sold. For instance, it would have made every single one of those that you see out there. But the problem for that was, as I got higher volume, the logs kept getting bigger. I couldn't pick the stupid log up to get it onto the splitter. And I'm not getting any younger.
No.
My volume dictated it, so here we go.
There we are.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. All right. We're done here. I'm going to leave Joe. He's got things to do. He's got deliveries to make. He's got firewood to make, all this and that. So I'm going to head home. We're going to unload this, and we'll finish up the video at home. I'd like to thank Joe from Ohio Wood Burner. Like I said, I'll leave the channel in the description. I will also post at the end of the video. And I really appreciate it, Joe.
Right,
I really do.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
And then stay in touch with the project.
We will.
Alrighty.
All right. Everyone,
have a great day.
have a great day. All right, everyone. I'm back at the homestead, farmstead, whatever you want to say. And got this out. Not too many ants left in it, but we're going to take a quick look here. I'm going to leave it out here for the chickens to go through, because the chickens will go in there and eat all the ants out. So might as well use Chicken Ranch Homestead to its advantage on this one. And we'll start thinking about what we're going to do. Okay, well, there it is, all in its glory. You can see it's rotted out, but I got to dig into it a little bit more. But I heaved it out of the car. That's a pretty decent sized burl. We gotta get in there and take a quick look, see how rotted it out it is. But a lot of the bark is already off, and I don't know how dry it is. I gotta get my moisture meter, but let's take a quick look here. Well, you can see light through it. But the area that the burl's in doesn't look like it's tunneled to. And that log was decent size, and there was a couple other small burls on it, but nothing worthwhile to cut out, really. So I'm going to think that maybe I will end up cutting some of this log off. Like, I'm going to clear some of it out. I'm going to have to think about this, but this is going to take a little bit of time. And once I find out the moisture, I'm thinking it's still pretty darn heavy. It's probably 20% right now. So we got to get it down to about 8-10%. So we'll air dry it a little bit, but I'm thinking, yeah, so what I'm thinking is maybe we cut this here, go clean across, and create a big chunk of this. And then from there, we can just cut the rest out, and I can do from whatever. And then that bottom part, it's all junk. There's a little bit of burl on the back side down here that might be salvageable, but you know, there's a lot of rotten wood in it. But I'm thinking that's the thing to do, is just go across this, slab this off, take this off in a big chunk. I think that's the best thing to do. So if anyone's got another idea or comment about it, please feel free to contact me. My email is down in the description. I'm thinking that's the best route to go. I might take it over to a sawmill and have them do it that way. I have an Amish sawmill close. I work up in Meadville. I know there's another YouTuber up in Meadville that has a sawmill. Maybe we can do something there, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking is I'm going to cut that. Then there's going to be some on the side there, and I can make a smaller bowl or a bunch of ball stoppers and this and that. And no matter what, we're going to be putting resin in this stuff. We don't have much of a choice. I'll get a pressure pot, make one from the Harbor Freight or buy one, don't care, and we'll fill these pieces up with some resin at a time and make a bunch of stuff and hopefully get some nice stuff to auction off for some good charities. We kind of talked about a few. I have one kind of special in my heart that I'd like to give to, so we'll see what happens, but keep track. I'll put an update every now and then on this as I work on it, as I get to doing something. So remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Make sure to check Joe out. If you don't know Joe, please check him out. He's a hoot. He's a real nice guy, and I feel very privileged that he let me have this. And give him a subscribe too. So I'll see you later here at the Chicken Ranch Homestead.